What's up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract Podcast. This is Sonja Ramirez, your girl, and I'm sitting next to
Miguel Ramirez.
What's up, everybody? How was your day?
How was your week?
How is your life
Going. What's going on, babe?
Not much. Let's get into the plugs.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that are listening to the podcast, if you're only listening to it through your podcast app, we just want to let you guys know that you can also watch the podcast on YouTube or on Facebook. And if you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook, just so you know, if you don't have time to just sit down and dedicate an hour or whatever to listen to the podcast, you can also download any podcast app and just search Opposites Attract Podcast, and you can listen to it in the car or wherever you're at. So, yeah, and you can find all that at oppositesattractpodcast.com.
Yes. So we just got back from celebrating our goddaughter's birthday. And then yesterday, I celebrated my niece's birthday.
Yeah.
But it's so strange just, being around and seeing our kids playing with our niece's kids.
Yeah.
Like our kids are growing up, instead of growing up with, like my sister or my brother's kids.
Yeah.
It's my niece's kids.
They're growing up with their kids.
Yeah. And they're growing so fast. Kids, next thing you know it, they're off to college, out of the house.
Not only are they growing
it's so
up,
sad.
but Audrey is like the biggest kid out of all of them.
Right. Yeah. And yesterday I spent some time with my older nieces, and Serena just turned 28. And it was my first time actually really partying with them, like hanging out with them, and when they were babies, I used to always take care of them. Like I was the one, I would watch them. I loved babies and I was always there for them. Yeah. And then as they got into their teenage years, I didn't spend that much time with them. It wasn't due, to me, not wanting to spend time with them, but other situations. So I never really got that time to really connect with them and really get to know them, and so there was a lot of lost time as they were growing up. But now that they're adults and they're able to make their own decisions, I made the decision that, I'm going to be more involved in their lives. And so we just had some really deep, meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
And so just hanging out with them and watching them and sitting back and just watching them interact with their children. Vanessa has 2 little ones and she's such a great mom.
Yeah.
But I'm very blessed to have some amazing nieces, and nephews.
Yeah. I was actually looking at some old pictures. So I have in the computer, we have an external hard drive, and anytime our phones fill up with pictures or whatever, I don't like storing stuff in the cloud because I don't know, I'm paranoid or whatever, or I'm old. But so we have the external hard drive that we keep all the pictures in, and I was just kind of going back earlier today before we went out and just looking through some of the old pictures of some of the old phones that I used to have. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy, like looking back and seeing how young they were. Like they were little kids.
Yeah.
They were little kids, and now they're adults.
I don't even remember how old they were when you and I got together, but
that just means we're getting old.
But it's so cool. I'm actually able to party with them, and we're able, to drink together and conversate and talk about our kids and how, and how hard and difficult it is to be parents. And I was talking to Vanessa, and I was telling her how amazing of a mom she is. I said, "You are a way better mom than me." And she looks at me and she's like, "Thea," she's like, "You're a great mom." And I said, "Thank you." I said, "But just let me finish."
Yeah.
I said, you enjoy homeschooling. Like she enjoys, she's that mom who's going to be maybe part of the PTA. Like she's that mom, that's very much involved. And I told her, I said, your Theo helps me be the mom that I am, because I don't have all the patience. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that mother who's going to be baking cookies and doing this and doing that. And I done it, with the class, taking them cupcakes and stuff like that. But it's not because I was so excited about doing it. I just knew that it was the right thing to do.
You're like, this is what good moms do.
That's exactly. But it took me a long time to be honest about it because I felt a sense of guilt, because I work, being a stay-at-home mom does not sound happy-go-lucky. Like I'm not that woman that's okay being that stay-at-home mom, like I've always had my own thing going on, and before I would feel guilty about that, not being that Martha Stewart mom.
Yeah. That's where I come in.
But I just had to be honest with myself and be okay with that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women that are living through this. And it's hard for them to swallow. And at times they live with that guilt.
Well, the thing is that even if you don't feel like doing it, you do it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's part of your responsibility and our responsibility as being parents. And that's part of the discipline thing where you don't feel like doing stuff, but you have to do them anyway. So even though you may not feel like doing it, like if, let's say you don't feel like doing it, but you're doing all the things that a good mom should do.
Right.
Then what does that make you?
Yeah.
Makes you a good mom. You're doing all the things that you're supposed to do.
But the difference is that she lights up when she talks about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the passion is oozing out of her, and I don't have that oozy. There's nothing oozing out of me when I'm talking about, homeschooling the kids. If anything, I'm just like, oh my God. But no, I'm an okay mom, but I'm just not that,
Yeah. I'm just
leave it to Beaver mom. I am not the leave it to Beaver mom.
I'm just thinking, I'm like that, it's great. And it's awesome that, she feels that way naturally.
Yes.
But I have to give you a lot of credit because you don't feel that way and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So
thank you for making me feel better.
Like
not that I feel bad. I'm just now okay with that. Like I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
And another good analogy is it's so cute. So her and her, significant other were in the kitchen cooking. And I'm like, look at them. Because we do that a lot. Like we'll cook in the kitchen and hang out and talk.
Yeah, and help
but
each
I
other
haven't
out.
Really, well, Nikki and Thomas do that as well. Yeah. But, so we do know some couples that do that. But Vanessa and her man fight over who's going to do the cooking because they both enjoy it and love it.
Yeah, we definitely don't do that.
And we don't do that. Like, no. I am not, like, I rather clean. Like, I'm not a person, I don't get into cooking unless I'm, like, super hungry, right?
I'd rather not eat.
If I'm super hungry and I'm craving something, then I'm getting down in the kitchen. I'm good with that. But having to cook, like, every day, like, 3 times a day, like, that does not sound fun to me. That is not something that I enjoy. I just don't enjoy cooking. So, as a woman, that's another thing. Like, I'm, like, I feel bad about, but I still hook it up. There's some women who don't like to cook because they don't know how to cook and their food don't taste good. Like I just don't enjoy cooking, but my food's good.
Now that you mention it, like the way when we have dinner and then cleaning up at the end, I can't imagine like breakfast, lunch, like, oh, what are you going to do? Cook and clean all fucking day?
Exactly. That makes me sick. Just talking about that or feeling that like that's something like I'm so glad the kids go to school Monday through Friday and I still make their lunch, but I'm still not, I put little notes in there, but I'm like, shit, gotta make these kids some lunch, damn it.
But you do it.
But I do it.
Hey, speaking of which, what did you send Joey for lunch the other day?
And
after talking all that shit about me,
the tamale.
you sent them to school with a fucking tamale.
He likes them.
Yeah, he loves them.
He does. I'm like, baby, would you like a tamale? He's like, yes. Like he loves tamales.
That's funny.
And I'm making Audrey a grilled cheese sandwich, and that's her favorite. And Joey does not like bread for shit.
It's weird.
Yeah, like peanut butter and jelly. Like I would tear that up. He gives it away. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Bring it back. Dad and I will throw that down.
Yep.
For real. But yeah, so for anyway, just being able to, see them and recognize and talking to them about, some of the things because they see us and they're like, oh yeah, like perfect marriage, perfect family, perfect parenting, and just sitting down with them and just being real with them. Yeah. Because when I told Vanessa how I felt about being a mom, she looked at me like, what? Like, really?
I think a lot. And that is part of that whole social media thing.
Yeah.
That is the part where you don't see that or you don't get that from social media.
Well,
like when you look at the pictures and you look at everything, it looks like, oh, the world's greatest mom. Look at all these pictures. And, you know, like it just looks like everything is just so easy.
Right.
But you're forcing yourself to do these things.
And that's why I like the podcast. And that's why I really enjoy doing my Facebook Lives. Because you've seen my Facebook Lives where I'm just like, I'm as vulnerable as they come because I want people to know that the struggle is real. It doesn't matter, you know, how, you know, your Facebook looks, you know.
Or yeah, what your Instagram profile looks
like. You know, everybody goes through challenges. Everybody goes through challenges. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Thomas's mom about this today at the party, you know, and
stop dropping names.
Because she kept saying,
naming everybody?
She kept saying like, you know, life isn't easy. Like life is difficult.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell her, well, you know what? Life is great. Like, I don't see it as difficult. Like, I don't see it as like it's just draining and like I enjoy living. I enjoy life. I enjoy like the obstacles and the challenges. You know, yeah, they suck when you're going through them, but you always become the person that you need to become in order to get through it.
Yeah.
So you end up being better off. Well, some people, because some people just give in. You know, some people don't have the fight.
Yeah.
Some people just give up.
Yeah.
You know, but I told her, I said, yeah, Miguel sometimes wants to choke me out because I always look for the good. You know what I'm saying? Like I try my best. And there's times where I want to choke you out, you know, or I get upset with you. And it's like, it's okay. You know, like you saw me about to throw a hissy fit the other day when I'm like, this house is a disaster, right?
Yeah.
And I had to kind of walk away from that because I felt my blood starting to boil. And I'm like, life isn't about this.
You need a balance of that, though. It's not all. You can't just fucking walk around. Everything is beautiful and bring like you need some fucking perspective sometimes.
Yeah, but I go through challenges.
I get it.
But I just go through them. I don't have to overreact. Like I just do what I got to do and get it done.
Yeah.
You know. And by the way, I think your mom is very concerned about us.
Why?
Because we were talking and she's like, we're talking and she's like, so how are you and Miguel doing?
We're great.
And I'm like, we're good, Mom. And I'm like, but I'm thinking it's because like a few of the podcasts we've been at it.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, and she's like worried like something's going on, you know, but you know, like, and that's the thing. Like I tell her, you know, we have our disagreements, but it doesn't last. You know, like we'll talk about it.
Well, a big part of like what's happening right now is just that it is fucking nonstop. I'm about to lose my fucking mind. Like for real. Every fucking day that I have, and it's not even a day off, because to me, my day off is still a day when I work.
Right.
It's just a day that I don't have to do as much shit. It's like a day when I can finally catch a breather.
Yeah.
And it's just every fucking day for I don't know how long now that is just, oh, you got a little bit of time here, fucking go do this. You got a little time, go pick this up. You got a little time, go do this. And I'm like, I just want to fucking relax for a minute.
Yeah. And so many people feel that way. Like I was thinking that it was just us, you know, that has a crazy life. It's not.
No, it's
every individual that is trying to be a good parent feels the way we feel because you're involved in the kid's life.
Yeah.
You know, they have things we have places to go. We have birthday parties. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's just part of life. And that's why I was talking to Adriana. I'm like, enjoy being a kid. Like, enjoy being a kid because you can't get this time back. And once you're an adult, sorry, it's too late. Like, now it's time to get busy. Now it's time.
Now it's on.
Yeah.
No, I was telling you, I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago. I was talking to Audrey. I don't remember what happened. Do you remember what happened with Audrey when I went to talk to her? Like, there was something going on where like she wanted to do some things, or she was kind of upset because she wasn't allowed to do certain things, or what. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that was pretty much the gist of it. And I went to her room and I started talking to her, and I told her, I'm like, look.
Oh, what was it? Go ahead.
Huh? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Keep talking.
Okay. So I went to her room and I'm talking to her and I'm telling her, like, look, you're a kid now, and let's just give adulthood a number. Like, at what point do you become an adult? I mean, 18 legally, but you're not really an adult at 18. I mean, what, maybe 20, 22, 25, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what I'm thinking when you're an adult is when you have your own place, pretty much. Like, if you're paying rent, you're paying a mortgage. If you're living on your own, like, you don't live with your parents, you're pretty much an adult now. And that, you know, for some people that's 18, 20, 22, 25,
for
whatever.
me, it was 18.
Yeah, for me too. But the thing is that when that point comes, now you have your apartment that you got to pay for. You have insurance, most likely. You have your car. You have a cell phone. You have internet. You have electricity. You have water. You have all the things that an adult has. And there is no going back to the kid life. And if you think about the point, once you become an adult, you are going to be living that adult life until you die. Until, let's say, 80, 85. And if you start that, let's say 25, I mean, that's 60 years of being an adult. Yeah. So enjoy the little bit of time that you're a little kid.
Yes.
Because once it's on for the next 60 years.
Yes.
And the thing is that, you know, and I also explained it to her, I was like, I know that it's hard for you to understand it.
Yeah. It'll click, but it is.
But just understand that I love you, and that I'm just trying to explain it to you because I've been through it. We've all been through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but I remember the conversation.
Adult things.
Yeah, I remember the conversation.
She wanted to do. I don't know if it was like makeup or something like that that she wanted to wear.
Maybe. But yesterday I had a business transaction. I'm out, okay, with my nieces, and I've had a couple of drinks already. And we had a few signings that came in prior to me leaving, and they were already signed. The notaries received the documents, all that stuff, right? So it was done. My hands were clean. I'm like, okay, I'm good, right?
Yeah.
I get to my niece's house. I have a couple of drinks, and I'm feeling good at this point.
Yeah, work's done.
And I get a call from my notary 5 minutes before the appointment saying that she received a call. Her daughter's sick. She has to take her daughter to the emergency. And her baby, she's a baby. She's about maybe 4 months.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Because it's late, and I knew a lot of the other notaries were booked.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I called them anyways. Nobody was available. Okay. So I called the lender up to let him know, he didn't answer. I left him a message. I called the title company, same thing, and the client as well. And then I had them reassign it because it's on this ServiceLink platform. Well, it doesn't go through on time, and I'm trying to handle all of this, and my nieces are looking at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, this is the part, because, Serena wants to join the business. I'm like, this is the part. I'm like, some people can do well being the business owner, and others just want to contract. They just have to handle work. Yeah, like they don't have to handle all the craziness behind the scenes. All the late night
finding people, scheduling, paying people out.
Stressful. And normally, if something like this comes up, me being the owner, I'm gonna go handle it.
Like, you're gonna take it personally.
Yeah, I'm gonna take. If I had to drive from Mesa to Buckeye to do the signing, I would do it.
But
I had a couple of drinks.
50 miles.
Yeah. But I had a couple of drinks, and I knew I couldn't. Like, I knew I couldn't. So I called my little sister up, and I'm like, hey, and they just went out to dinner. Oh, I know. And she saved my ass last night. Like, she did. She's like, you know what? She's like, I got you. And you know how good that felt? Because seriously, there's not too many people that would do that. I mean, she was out with her husband. Just ordered food. They had ordered drinks. They had to cancel the drinks because she can't drink and drive. So they canceled the drinks. And she's like, I'll handle it. She went and took care of that appointment at 10 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
At 10 p.m.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ruby. But, just thinking about it, and I'm like, do I really want to grow this any bigger? Because it comes with so much responsibility and so much stress. And it's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah. And it also goes to show you that when you build a business, the people are the most important part. Like, to have people that you can depend on.
Yes.
People that are going to do the right thing. That stuff's important.
Yeah. And we do have a pretty good group of notaries, but as a business owner, some things can be pretty crazy at times when.
Yeah. We got our
We're going to talk about that.
We got our little
talk about these
Christmas cards here for those of you watching the podcast.
Right.
You guys can see it, or you guys can go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. You can watch it there. You can watch it on YouTube or Facebook, like we mentioned before. Oh, these things keep falling down.
You keep knocking mine down.
We got these little Christmas cards that we got from Audrey.
Yeah, I was gonna kick her butt because I went upstairs and they were on the floor. Okay, just like on the floor. I'm like, what the hell?
It's you know what? It is hard being a parent. You know why? Because of situations like this.
You want to choke their asses out.
This is a perfect example because I know where she was making these now. She was making these in the playroom.
Oh, was she?
Yes, because I walked into the playroom and there was shreds of paper all over the fucking place and scissors on the floor and shit everywhere. Aww. So this is the thing. When you make a mess or something, like, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to go yell at the kid like, hey, you made, and then they hand you a fucking Christmas card? And then what do you do? What are you supposed to do?
I was going to yell at her, dude. I was going to, because they were just on the floor and it was a mess.
That's when you're like, oh, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Hug and a kiss. Now go clean that up. Yeah. But you can't get too mad.
No, I know.
Fuck, I know. It's funny. So what does your Christmas card say? You got a little Santa card.
All right. So it says, nope, this is yours, little bug.
Is that mine?
Yep. That says daddy.
Here
Give me this one.
Okay. Okay. So I got Santa.
Yeah, you got Santa. Okay. Hi, Mom. I love you. I hope you like the letter and have a good Christmas. I love you, Audrey. And there's a picture of her and I.
Show it.
And in the back.
Show the inside.
Okay. And in the back, it says, Mom, you are never sad, and that is great.
Yes.
I'm like, aw.
That's great. That's a nice little card.
And I found.
So then I got my little Santa card here, and it says, "Hi, Dad. I love you, and I hope you like the letter and have a good Christmas. I love you, Audrey." And then she's got a picture, I'm guessing, of me and her, right? And on the back of my card, it says, "Never be sad. Be happy." That's what my card says.
But Miguel and I, when I showed him the cards, we both just busted out laughing. And I told him, I think sad was supposed to be mad because
I don't get sad.
Yeah, but I get sad.
You get sad.
Yeah.
We were talking about you get sad all the time.
I'm very emotional. Like, her and I will be talking, or I'll be going through her closet, giving stuff out for donations, and I'll start just tearing up because I'm like, my baby's getting so big, and she looks at me and she's like, "It's okay, Mommy." Like, she'll,
We should go talk to Audrey and tell her, you probably should have switched the cards, because Mom gets sad all the time. Dad never gets sad. Dad doesn't get sad.
But I think
every once in a while,
have
maybe.
That may have been supposed to be, because I'm like sad, but she sees I'm
maybe mad.
Maybe.
Speaking of me getting mad, the other day we were talking about Joey and about his character, just the way he is. Like, he's very sweet. He's like the sweetest, one of the sweetest boys I've ever, like, I mean, he'll for absolutely no reason. How was your day,
Dad?
Yeah. He'll ask you how your day was. He'll come up and give you a giant hug and a big kiss. And it's not, you can tell, like, he wanted to give you that hug and that kiss. And he's so sweet.
And he'll tell me, Mom, because they go to bed obviously before us, and he'll say, Mom, can you just come lay with me for a little bit? Yeah. And I'll lay with him, and he'll just hug me and smell
just cuddled
me. Up. Yes. Just actually, very sweet.
Last night you were out with our nieces, celebrating their birthday and hanging out with them, and I was home with the kids, and we put on a movie upstairs, and we were just hanging out watching TV, and I just crashed on the couch with Joey, and Audrey crashed on the couch too. Like we all just fell asleep on the couch.
I know. I came home and you guys were all just out, and I just sat there in between all of you and watched TV and scared the shit out of you.
You know what's crazy? It was actually kind of creepy for me.
You did get scared.
I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Yeah. But so like I said, I crashed. I was passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I wake up and I realized like I must have been sleeping for a little while.
Yeah.
You know, and it must be late by now. And I'm like, I haven't heard from you at all. So as soon as I wake up, I think I'm like, I need to check my phone. So I grab my phone and I check my text messages, and I see that I have a text from you, and I haven't checked my missed calls because you had called me. I didn't hear
twice.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened. Did you say something?
Yeah, I touched you. I'm like, hey, babe.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. And I turned around.
I was sitting right next to him.
She was like right next to me.
Like I was right next to you.
But I didn't see you because I wasn't facing you. I was facing away from you down at the phone or whatever. I don't know. But you're like, hey, babe. And freaked the shit out of me.
I was in my onesie.
Yeah, you were just chilling.
Up.
But yeah, probably not the reaction, the scared reaction. I've been taking jujitsu. You probably thought I should have put some moves. I was like, what the fuck was that? This dude ain't gonna do shit if somebody breaks in.
Right.
All those classes for what? No, but yeah, I was just like, holy shit. I didn't expect you to be there.
Adriana and I went shopping the other day for a new onesie, right?
Yeah.
And we bought some gowns.
Yeah, some pajama gowns or whatever.
You want to share your little episode?
Yeah. So this is the thing.
Miguel's kind of funny sometimes.
Sonja, her favorite thing when it starts to get cold are these onesies. Yeah. You got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You wear one mostly.
Yeah.
But
I have two of the same.
Yeah, you have two of the same, but then you have a couple other ones too.
Yeah.
But they're comfortable and she loves wearing these onesies.
And Miguel loves them too.
Yeah, they're what? I mean, I don't wear them, so I don't give a shit.
You like the zipper.
But yeah. No. So the other day she goes shopping and they get these gowns. Yeah. And of course, my first thought is like, I'm going to lift this gown up and see what's underneath. So I picked the gown up, and right at that moment, like that instant, I'm like, those fucking onesies suck. Because I didn't even realize, like, you have the fucking onesie. The zipper is literally from your fucking vagina up to your chin. There's no getting in that fucking onesie.
Well, you pull the zipper down like you normally do.
Yeah, but you still got to get the fucking arms out. You got to get the legs out.
Yeah.
As soon as you had that gown, I was like, whoop. I lifted it up. I was like, this is way fucking better.
You said something funny.
I was like, I'm going to fucking burn all these onesies.
Wait,
I'm going to throw them all away.
But you like the onesie.
I'm just kidding. I do like the onesie.
Yeah. Are you lying to me? Because you said, you're like, baby, you look sexy in those ones. Like, you like the onesies.
You do. I like them.
You know? But what did you say?
But I like the gown.
Lockdown.
I like
said
that.
Something
yeah,
lockdown.
You got your vagina locked down. Like, I'm telling you, like a freaking zipper. How much higher can that zipper go? It's up to your freaking chin. You know, like
but I don't wear it that high.
You don't wear it that
I'll
low.
Show a little cleavage.
You can't. We got kids. You can't do that shit.
Well, stop complaining, damn it. No.
I'm just saying we need to get some more of those gowns.
It doesn't stop us though. Trust me. When it's time to go, it's time to go.
No, well, not true.
Oh wait, they have the onesies. Okay,
what
with
do you mean? Flap on the back.
Okay, but wait, what do you mean not true?
That's what those flaps are for.
Dude,
do you know what the flaps are for?
For you to take a crap freely. No.
Yeah. True. and
no.
So we could get some of those.
I'm going to get you a onesie. You would. Oh, let's talk about that. So
what?
That's exactly what I told Miguel. Like, I'm going to get you a onesie. And then I thought about it and I'm like, dude, you would never get out of that onesie. Nope. Like, once you try on a onesie, babe, you're done.
I would never leave the house.
You are done. Like, yeah, you'll be walking around everywhere with that onesie.
You'll see me at Costco with a onesie. Huh?
we should do that one day.
Oh man,
just for shit and giggles, and see.
But
make sure our logo is on the back of the onesie, because people would take pictures of us and talk shit. The shit that you see at Walmart. Hey, right?
Our podcast logo. It could be like a jujitsu gi. You know how they have the big ass patches on the back of the gi?
Yeah.
We can have our logo on the back of the
That's what I'm talking about. Because people would be snapping pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because you see that every once in a while, people will snap crazy pictures of people in Walmart because they are looking crazy.
We could be those crazy people.
We could be those crazy people.
Yeah.
We would go viral.
But
they'd be white. Wait, what? Opposites Attract podcast?
The fuck is that? What are these crazy people wearing?
Right?
Maybe.
It's a good idea.
Maybe you got an idea.
Right?
Yeah. All
It's a whole lot of fun. There's no shame. Who cares what people think? Let's do it.
Yep. So last week we were watching TV. What the hell were we watching? We put on some Christmas movie. And we're all sitting there watching it, and they start singing. They started singing and dancing. Turns out that whatever this movie
Jingle Jangle?
It was Jingle Jangle. It was on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
So we're watching, and they start singing and dancing.
Yes.
So me, I don't know, whatever. I mean,
no, dude, you totally were thinking it.
I don't mind.
But it annoys.
A musical, I get. Not really.
Be honest.
No. Okay, this is what it is. I don't mind some singing and dancing, but I don't want to listen to a musical.
Like that movie Chicago. What is it called? Chicago.
Well,
it's a musical.
I'll give you an example.
Would not like it.
So, like, let's say, like the play that my little brother did that we went to.
Okay.
Right.
That was a play.
That one had acting and it had some singing. It was great.
Yeah.
And then, like the John Leguizamo one that's on Netflix, Latin History for Morons.
That's different.
He does some singing, but he does acting and present, like all that stuff. That one's great.
Yeah.
But this one is like a lot of singing and a lot of dancing.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh God, this is. But I'm not really.
It, but not saying.
I'm not saying it, but I said something to you. Like I kind of like nudged you a little bit.
I already knew. You didn't even have to nudge me. I already knew.
But I kind of nudged you, and I'm like, fuck this singing and dancing and all this shit. And then, so we're sitting, and it's me, and then Joey's to my left, and on the left of Joey is Sonia.
And then Audrey.
And at one point, I think we're into like the second song now. And the thing is that like they sang a song, and then they talked for like 2 minutes, and then they started singing another song.
Yeah.
And Joey's like, oh my God.
Too much singing.
So much singing. Yeah. Like he was not, and then they stopped singing. Then they started singing again.
Yeah. And he's like, not excited. So you got to picture this, everyone. Okay. You got to picture this. So here I have my husband and my son complaining, and Audrey and I are enjoying the shit out of it.
You guys are smiling ear to ear. Yes. Me and Joey are fucking pissed with all the damn singing and dancing. We're like, would you guys fucking stop?
God.
But it was so, and I can't remember exactly what Joey said.
Yeah.
But he was not happy.
No.
And then but like I couldn't help myself. Like I just started busting out laughing.
Yeah.
Because I thought that shit was
we looked
funny.
at each other and just started laughing.
Oh man. That was
even more funny when I look at Audrey and I'm like, I'm enjoying this shit. I don't know what's wrong with you two, but I'm enjoying this shit. And then I look at Audrey and she's so cute. Like she's in it as well. My little mini me.
Joey with his onesies, he could wear, he will wear onesies
and
all day.
You would too. If you put a onesie on, you would feel the exact same way.
I don't know. We'll see. But but yeah, Joey is one of these kids. Like he really appreciates the way things feel.
Yes.
Like he likes like the fleece on the inside of his jacket. Mm-hmm. He's just he's into that. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
smells
the smells too. Yeah.
Cologne. He loves cologne, or if I'm wearing a certain perfume, or and I'm that way. Like and you see me, I'm like a big ass kid with my blanket.
Yep.
I walk around with that blanket. I'm like, wherever we're at, I have to have my blanket. Yep. And then candles. Like I love walking in.
He likes lighting candles and smelling them and all that.
Yeah.
But I was telling you that I think I gotta find him. My poor son. He's got these fucked up haircuts all the time because I cut his hair.
You do good.
I do. I
would not let my
I wouldn't
son.
say I do good. I do an okay job. Sometimes.
Well, Miguel cuts his own hair. Yeah, so you guys can judge.
But you know what? The thing is that for some reason, or maybe it's just because it's no, it's not that, because I've been doing his hair for a long time too.
Yeah,
it's just the different shapes or like kids' heads. it's just different. I don't know. The shape is different, and it's not like my hair. It's easier to cut for me anyway. But I was thinking something that he would really enjoy, something that he would appreciate, is like taking him to a real barbershop. Or maybe, I mean, during COVID, I don't know. But, or having somebody come here, like a real professional person that really knows what they're doing, and they do the whole hot towel with the massage and the shave with the straight razor.
He would
and all that kind of stuff.
That.
And it reminded me when I was in the military, and I had first moved out here to Arizona. It was in 2003. So this is long time ago. And I used that right outside the base, outside of Luke Air Force Base, there was this place to, there's a couple barbershops, I think. But there was this one that we would all go to. And there was like these Russian dudes that would cut our hair. And they were really good. Like they would do the hot towel thing, the straight razor. They had like this massager for your head and your neck and shit and all that. And they were really good. The only thing is that when you would go there, these dudes were hustlers. I mean, they were like, they're not, you can tell, you can hear in their accent, they're not from here.
Yeah.
And, as you guys know, a lot of time when somebody comes from another country here, like they're trying to take advantage of all the opportunities they can get.
Yeah.
So these dudes were cutting hair, and while they're cutting hair, they're trying to sell you shrimp. They're trying to sell you steaks, oysters, TVs. You want to buy a car? They know where you can get a car. These dudes, they were into so much shit. Like I remember one time I was getting my hair cut, and literally this dude walks in with a giant bag of shrimp, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they had a freezer in the back because they would sell seafood, like wholesale seafood or some shit.
Yeah.
And he walks in and he puts the bag of shrimp inside their freezer in the back of the barber shop.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, sounds kind of unhygienic if you got a fucking barbershop and you're selling seafood out of that.
I'm like,
bitch.
I don't think that's happening anymore.
Yeah, maybe stick to the TVs and some of the other things, but steaks and seafood and all that.
Yeah.
But no. So I'm getting my hair cut. This dude walks in, and while I'm getting my hair cut, the dude's like, "Hey, Miguel, you want to buy some shrimp?" And I'm like, "Dude, I live on base. I have nowhere to cook fucking shrimp." Like I walked here.
Yeah.
But no, I thought Joey would really like that.
Aw, he would.
So
he would
I don't know.
very much
I'll
enjoy that. So not sure where you're listening from, but here in Arizona, the kids, well, at least our kids were going back to school. Like they were actually attending school. And because of COVID, they now are only going on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So they're going back to a hybrid schedule.
Yes. And Joey I thought he would actually, it's so odd because he really enjoys being home. Like Joey, he likes being out. He's like you. He likes being out, and having fun. But when he's ready after 2 hours of just having fun and playing with his cousins or whomever, he's like, as soon as I'm like, hey baby, you ready to go home? Yeah. Like he's excited. And he tells me I like being home. Like he enjoys being home. So when I mentioned to him that he was going to, work from or, attend school online from home, he was not happy about that. Like he was not happy about that.
Well, I can tell you, I mean, even though like me and him are very similar, like I love being home, which is, before we started the podcast, like we've been out all freaking day from the pretty much the moment that we woke up, we got dressed and left the house and we've been out, and now it's 9:00 at night or later or whatever. And we're recording this podcast. We've been out all day. And for those of you that have been listening for a while, you guys know, like, I like being home. I like my house. There's no place I'd rather be than in my house, chilling. And he's the same way. But when it comes to getting instruction or learning things, for me, and most likely for him too, like I like to be shown. I don't want to be looking at a screen. Here, read this and do that. Like I don't learn well that way. I have to be looking at it. Maybe somebody explaining it. Okay, we're going to do this. And now you give it a shot. Okay, don't do that. See, you did this here. Do that here. Oh, okay, cool. Now I got it. But when it's just look at a screen and try to figure it out.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough. And for him, going to school like helped him out a lot.
Yeah.
It helped him a lot.
Yeah.
So this is something that I was thinking about that. I think, I don't know if we can talk to the school or something, but that's not the best way for him.
I know.
It's not at all.
Well, it's change, and change is something that sucks.
Yep.
But it's something that he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his life. So maybe we just have to have a conversation with him. Yeah. I mean, they sent him home with the packet. So I'm assuming, because I did have that conversation with them, the teachers previously when they were homeschooling.
Yeah.
And the teacher sent him a packet. So I'm assuming that she did the same thing because she knew that he didn't work well online. So she sent a packet.
Yeah.
At least that's what Joey, said. So I'm going to go through his backpack and see exactly what this packet is.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
No.
But so we'll see.
We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated on how horribly homeschooling is going. Holy shit. But a couple weeks ago, we took the kids to medieval times.
Oh, yeah.
That was our first time going to medieval times.
That was fun.
For those of you guys that don't know what medieval times is, or if you're not in the United States, medieval times, we have they call it's dinner and tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's kind of like a play. It's like a dinner.
It's like a play. It's dinner, but it's like a medieval play.
Yeah.
And you don't have any silverware. Like
you're eating straight up with your hands.
With your hands, because in medieval times with King Arthur and all that kind of stuff, they didn't have utensils. They used to eat with their hands. So, and they have like I don't know what you would call it, but like the square in the middle or where they compete and they do the jousting.
Yeah. And
it was a lot of fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. The kids really enjoyed it.
Yeah, they did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you guys,
I'm like, this is pretty fun.
There's a few of them. The one that we went to is here in Scottsdale, Arizona. They have some around the country if you guys want to look it up. But be prepared, because
it's expensive too, right?
They are not giving away tickets to medieval times.
No.
We dropped some cash on that thing. And it's one of those things. It's pretty much, so do not expect prices like you're going out to dinner.
Yeah, no.
Expect prices more like you're going to like an amusement park or something like that.
And their food was good, though.
The food was very good, yeah.
The food was good. And we even got to keep these fancy cups.
Well, no, we paid for those fancy cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, we paid
for them.
We had 3 drinks and it was like $100. And 2 of them were non-alcoholic.
Yeah.
But you get to keep the cups. So that's why it was
the kids' cups were plastic.
Yeah, we
had good cups.
They didn't give us. They didn't give us shit. We paid for everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But yeah. But I had talked to you about it and I was like, so what do you think? And you say you liked it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things
I don't know if I'd
it's
I don't know if I'd go again. Like, it was great to experience it. We should ask the kids to see if they would go again.
It's definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then you can decide if you want to do it again. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And our night one, so they had what, 6 nights? Mm-hmm. So they had 6 nights, different colors, different symbols or emblems for their shields and their armor and all that stuff. And they jousted and they had sword fights and it was cool.
I wonder though if it's the same winner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they have to rehearse this. They don't just go out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's very interesting to think though, right?
I would think that they would have to switch it up a little bit, because what if people go back?
Yeah.
You can't go back for the same exact show every time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know though.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Look up.
Anybody that's been to medieval times more than once, you guys can let us know. You guys can call in 480-912-5128.
So in the past, we had a situation with Adriana. She had a little crush.
Yeah. And
our kids don't have, they have a tablet, but there's no cell phones. And, we're pretty old fashioned, I think, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say old fashioned or just cautious because of social media and all the negativity and all the just nastiness.
We're old fashioned in some aspects, but I think it's more cautious than old fashioned.
Yeah, because when you go, we're part of a group that's tech. What is it? Tech parents or parents?
Parents,
technology, whatever it is. But you hear the parents
in the technology world.
Yeah, like you hear what these parents are going through with their children and social media and bullying and suicide, like their kids, cutting themselves and just, it really opens your eyes. So when I start to doubt what we're doing, I go to that group and it gets me back.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay,
Big
no,
time.
we're doing the right thing. But at first I wasn't sure.
Parenting in a tech world.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Until I started asking other parents. Yeah. Like recently, like, you know, when I go to my signings and I find out that their kid has a phone, and the last one said, you know, I wish we would have waited until he was 15, and they gave him his phone when he was 13.
This is the thing. If you have little kids, man, once you let that genie out of the bottle, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck getting the genie back in the bottle. Like, it's not going to happen.
No.
Like, what are you supposed to do with a kid? If you give them a cell phone, or you let them have a Facebook and Instagram, and then you find out
TikTok.
that maybe that it wasn't a good idea.
Right. Now what do you do? Yeah.
Because you're gonna be the most hated parent in the world when you take it all away.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the whole messenger thing, because at first, you know, Audrey has access to kids' messenger through us. So we accept whoever she speaks to. And, you know, she had this crush on this boy in jiu-jitsu. And so she asked if we can add him, and we did. And so anyways, it was nonstop. Her and
messaging
this little boy back and forth, both of them. And then it stopped. And then we got our daughter back, because I felt like I was losing her. Yeah. You know, like she was rushing through dinner. She was constantly
wanted to get to her tablet.
So now she's asking if we can accept, you know, someone else.
Oh, yeah, she's got a couple more people.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go that route. And it's like, we trust her. Right? Like we trust. And it's not about trust.
It's not about trust. It's not that we think that she's doing something that she's not supposed to be, or talking about something that she's not supposed to be. It's just the attention.
Yes.
It's the attention. This thing steals all of her attention. Yes. You know, and that's what we don't want. So, but at the same time, like, we talked about it, even though we avoided it for...
That was maybe the conversation you had with her.
What's that?
About Messenger that you talked about earlier. You thought it said makeup, but I think it was about Messenger.
Maybe it was about Messenger.
It was. Yeah,
maybe it was.
Yes, it was.
But me and you talked about it, and we avoided it for a long time. But the thing is that you can't avoid it, because just because you avoid it doesn't mean it's going away.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that she's not getting older and getting bigger.
Yeah.
You know, so after talking about it, we just kind of decided, like, hey, we're going to add the kids that she wants us to add. But we also had a talk with her, and we let her know that what happened before is not okay.
Yeah.
And if we notice that she's doing the same things that she was doing before, she's going to lose the tablet. Like, she's just going to lose it altogether for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and that's part of what we talked about with Sandy when she was here on episode
38.
We'll see. I don't know. Look for Sandy Semino in our previous episodes, 38, something like that. But what she had said was, you want your kids to experience these things and make these mistakes while they're in your house and not when they're by themselves.
Yes.
So this is kind of like her introduction to social media. And little by little, when she gets older, maybe she can get something. Yeah. But that's going to be a while from now, because we still got a lot of figuring stuff out to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm really nervous about this whole Nintendo Switch that we got the kids for Christmas. Well, Joey's the one that asked for it, because our kids don't have video games, or you know, this will be their first.
And we picked up a Nintendo Switch on Amazon.
Yes.
And if you guys want to get gouged on a Nintendo Switch on Amazon, you guys can do it through our link. And anytime you guys purchase something through Amazon and you use our link, we get a little kickback. You can go to opposites.
It helps the show.
Yeah, it helps out the show.
Yes.
You can go to oppositesattractpodcast.com, and you can watch the show there. You can listen to it. You can see all of our links. You can share our links, which is how the podcast grows. And if you look at the top, there's a tab that says support the show, or if you're on your phone, you can hit the little menu button. It'll say support the show, and it'll take you to our Amazon link. And anything that you purchase through that link doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps out the show. And you'll also see a link to Trust Inc. And Trust Inc. is?
We are a nationwide mobile notary agency. We do a lot of work for lenders, real estate agents, and title companies as well. So if you are purchasing, selling, refinancing, request Trust Inc. to be your agency to help you close on those loans.
Excellent. And if you want to reach Trust Inc. directly, you can go to trustinkusa.com. We're also affiliates with Libsyn, which is who hosts our podcast. And if you guys want to start a podcast, if you have something that you're passionate about, if you have a hobby that you want to put out there and you want to talk about it, and you want to turn that into maybe a business or something, to turn your passion into a business, that sounds like a dream job, right?
Yeah.
To be able to do what you love for a living. That's what you always hear people talk about. If you want to use promo code OAP for Opposites Attract Podcast, you'll get the rest of whatever month you sign up in for free, and you'll get the next month for free for trying out Libsyn to get your podcast started. Promo code OAP.
Very cool.
So we got that Nintendo Switch. It wasn't easy to find. They were selling, I mean, as most of you know, if you guys are looking for a Nintendo Switch, an Xbox, a PlayStation, those things are selling out everywhere.
Yeah.
And like switching a little bit to like business, I was talking to a friend of mine from work, and at first I was kind of thinking, it's kind of jacked up. Like if you're just buying, like snatching them all up and then reselling them for like way more.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, that's kind of jacked up to do that. But then when I really started thinking about it, I'm like, this is a Nintendo Switch. This isn't life-saving medicine. This isn't medical equipment that people need or they're going to die.
Yeah.
If you can't fucking wait until the Nintendo Switch comes back in stock, then pay the $500 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
But don't complain about it.
You're right.
Yeah. Wait, because this is the thing. Like, if we couldn't find that Nintendo Switch, you know what the kids would get for Christmas? They would get the games for the Nintendo Switch. and guess what? You can't play them. You can look at them. But after Christmas, they're going to be back in stock. Probably like a couple days after Christmas.
Yep.
We'll get one then.
We are not those parents. Like, seriously, I am not going to overpay. I don't care how bad the kids will. Like, call us what you want, but I am not paying crazy price for any kind of toy or whatever it is. I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it. So I'm showing Miguel a post that I you got something to say?
That's all. Yeah. Go for it.
So I was on Facebook earlier and I came across this post and it says, I bet you all females watch Netflix with subtitles because you all don't listen. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh shit, that's
you?
That is
That's you?
Yeah.
I don't know what we were watching earlier in the week.
How did we start watching? I mean, we've just started watching with subtitles. Like all the time. We just do.
Fuck, what was it? We were watching something earlier in the week and I rewound it like fucking 3 times because there was something that was important that was happening and you kept missing it because you kept fucking talking or doing something. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I keep fucking rewinding and then we would start and then all of a sudden you start going. I'm like, oh my God, you missed it again. And I rewind it again.
Yeah.
It's freaking funny.
So was it last week when we were talking to Joey about sex or when we should?
That was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I received a message from our niece, Nikki, and she, some advice. She's like, so I'm listening to the end of the podcast of 94 and you were saying, Miguel was aware of sex at a young age and that his grandmother told him about it. I think because you were sharing about the TV show, right?
Yeah.
And she's like,
I probably had found a couple porno tapes or some shit too.
Oh yeah, in your house. Yeah.
In the stash.
And what she said was that I feel that before the sex talk with the kids, parents should have the appropriate and inappropriate talk with their kids, touching who's allowed and who's not. And that should be as young as 3. Sex talk should be talked about around Joey's age, even if he didn't ask.
Well, I think the touching part definitely. I think the sex part I think the sex part should come up when they're ready, and the babies thing when they're ready. Like as they're asking, you can kind of ask them, like Stevens was talking about last week. We can ask them how much they know, and then we can maybe fill in some gaps and not give them all the details, about everything. And then, but yeah, like the touching that should come way sooner.
Yeah.
We've had some situations that we probably, the kids, we hadn't really talked to them. They were just so innocent that we didn't talk to them too much about it, but we've always kept a a good eye on them and knowing where they're at and who they're with and all that stuff.
But this is the thing. Like Audrey, I've talked to her at a young age. And this is something that we probably should become more aware of.
We need to talk to somebody about that.
Because we think that, little girl, at least me, I need to talk to Audrey. But I never thought about talking to Joey about it until Nikki brought it up. Yeah. But Adriana, yes. I mean, she was young when I talked to her about it, and I had a little bear and I was showing her what's appropriate, what's inappropriate.
Is that a thing?
How private?
Like if you have, for anybody else out there that's listening, is that a thing? Like when you have a girl and a boy, like do parents usually talk to the girl and maybe not as often talk to the boy? How does that? I don't know, because it's true. Like it's
I never thought about.
But maybe it's that girls have more to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I don't know either.
But the thing is that you also hear about boys being molested when they're kids.
Yeah, a lot. Like it's almost just as much as little girls.
The thing is that even though we maybe haven't specifically talked to them about this stuff, we have a really good relationship with, obviously, with the kids, where we talk to them about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So if something was to come up, even if we didn't have the talk, I think they would say something.
Oh, see, I wouldn't even go there. If something happens to them that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's very hard to say whether they would come to us or not, because you never know what they're being told.
Yeah.
Because there's pedophiles out there that will threaten. If you tell your mom and dad, I will get rid of mom and dad. Well, you know what I'm saying?
That's something that we got to talk to them about too.
Yes.
That's not true, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because you would think, that, they're close to us and they talk to us about everything. But if that happened, no, they're going to be scared. And I've been around girls and that it's happened to, and one was very, very close to her parents, but felt ashamed and didn't talk to her parents about it till she was an adult.
Yeah.
And that's a very serious conversation, that hopefully we could get someone like an expert, learn more about, or, get an expert on that deals with these types of situations, because the more we're aware, the more we can help, the more we can,
And we've also been talking about trying to get Sandy back on so that we can, have another podcast with her, because when we talk to her, it's something that if we can, we want to keep doing. Yeah. Because there's so much to talk about.
Yes, and co-parenting as well. That is another one.
Especially today.
Huge. There's so many people that go through it.
Yeah.
That can help. Yeah. So I'll reach out to her and see if we can get her back on. Yeah. But those are two separate topics. I mean, one of those topics can take the entire hour.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is serious stuff.
Yeah.
That we're talking about. And now let's talk about the definition of taint. Do you know what? Why
are you putting me on blast?
Last week we talked about, right when we ended the podcast, I was taking a shower last week, and Sonja. So we got this.
I try to scare the shit out of him. I always try to.
It's probably not a good idea to be scaring the shit out of each other in the shower.
No,
one of us is gonna.
I don't like.
This is gonna end bad.
Try to scare you. I just go and I touch you.
No, yeah, you'll. Well, yeah, when I'm not expecting it in the shower,
I'll smack his ass or something. I'll be playing with his junk.
I'm gonna fucking slip and break my neck or some shit. But I don't know what the fuck. What
you did that to me just recently.
I forgot what the hell, how we got into it. Or I don't know if I was drying myself off or you.
Yes, you were drying yourself off, and I said something.
And then I said something about a taint.
Yeah, you responded, yep. And I'm like,
and you were like, a what? And I'm like,
a tank? No.
A tank? Like that shoots artillery or what? I'm like, no. A taint with the T. And you were like, I don't know what it is. And I was like, what about a gooch? Do you know what a gooch is?
No, I don't know what a damn gooch is.
Or a taint. Well, a gooch and a taint, they're synonyms.
So they're the same.
I don't know if
they're the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay, they mean the same. Okay.
Same meaning.
Yes.
It's the space between your butthole and your ball sack.
Oh, the place where you like to get licked?
Yep.
Right there?
Right there. God damn it, babe. Oh, where's the...
Oh, you're too late, dude, man. What are you doing over there? You're fine. Oh, that's so bad. I am so kidding, moms. I would never, ever do anything like that. I am not licking his butthole or his taint. Okay, can you stop over there?
I had to hit all the buttons.
I'm getting excited. Like, what is this?
See, that's why you got to listen to the very end of the podcast, because you never know what the fuck's going to happen. But
and with that,
thank you guys for being with us. Make sure you guys go to oppositesattractpodcast.com. Make sure you guys share with the people that you know. Thank you for all of you that are listening out there. If you want to go to Trust Inc. directly, you can go to trustinkusa.com. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, if you can leave us a review, if you can share, if you guys want to give us a call, you can call us at 480-912-5128. You can find us on any of your social media by searching Opposite Pod or Opposites Attract Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler.
Parler.
We're on Parler. I just post like some of the clips and some of the other stuff. But yeah, you can find us there. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for listening.
And until next time.
Bye.
Bye.